Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're Aunt Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, hit that like. Don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Real talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light. Hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in her house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne. Yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Don't forget. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. She can roast with a smile. Drop wisdom too. Wisdom too. Break down the headlines. Bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong. Conversation grown. Don't talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word, oh yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real, keeps it real. That's the deal, that's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house, oh yeah. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on in and hit that light. Hit the light, oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's.
nothing. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I'm here. How you doing? We should never part, my key dog. Hello, everybody. Happy, what is this, Wednesday? It's hump day. I don't think very many of us going to be humping, but it's hump day. Now, I've been trying to hump to get this doggone content together to bring to you this afternoon. I want to say hello to everybody for coming in this evening. It's so good to see you. It's good to see everybody above ground. Every day above ground is a good day, whether we like it or not. Because once we close our eyes the final time, it's over. Ain't no more parties. Ain't no more plates of food. Ain't no more kicking it on YouTube. That might not be a bad thing after all. Anyway, hello everybody. Let me say hello to everyone. Hello Chandra. How you doing? Hi Fonda. Hello Faye. Hello Wanda. Community. Mr. Phillips. Donna. Let's see who else we got. This cursor's tripping. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's see. Yep, I think I got everybody. Barbara! Hey Barbara, how are you, sweetheart? Satin dolls in the house. Where's Uncle Barry? Where's Uncle Barry at? Where he at? Did he come in here and duck out again? Hi, wifey. Hello, husbandy. Oh, so good to see y'all. Anywho, I hope you guys had a wonderful day. What the heck? He's popping up on my screen. Leave me alone. I'm busy. Let's see, Mr. Phillips said, hey, Auntie, I am getting my logs on my fire. It's getting cold tonight, low 30s. Bless your heart. Whew. Get some extra covers on the bed. Shoot, I got one of them fireplace heaters that you plug in. Shoot, that is, it's essential. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have already heard that the verdict is in. Yes, it is. I'm going into campaign mode. Snap out of it. Yes, it is. My. Oh, my goodness. Feeling like the 20s. But Wanda, I'm telling you, I know how that feels. And the older our bodies get, the more we feel that cold air. And we ain't got to be standing in the air. We can just be sitting in the house with the heat on and still feel it. I never understood how my grandparents could say, I know it's about to rain. It's about to get cold because my knees are starting to ache and my shoulders is starting. I understand that now. I totally understand that now. And they was in their 80s when they was talking like that. I'm just in my 60s. Man. So yes, we all heard the verdict. Oh, I'm happy. But hey, we knew what he did. Should have been first degree. I'm sorry. That's my belief and that's what I'm sticking to. But they said he was found guilty of second degree unalived. I just can't get over some of the shenanigans that this man said on the stand. He didn't think about using the taser because of what she was wearing. It wouldn't have worked to use the taser because it wouldn't have attached to her skin. I ain't never seen when the police test tasers out on each other during training. I have yet to see a naked officer standing there waiting to be tased. You ain't got to be buck naked, have your skin showing. Look, they made tasers to be effective through clothing. Now, who's more vulnerable? Her in her night clothes or him in that big ass thing of gear he's got on, including a bulletproof vest? I'm just curious. Hi, Nadine. How are you, sweetheart? Hello, Ann. Hello, Ann. Hello, Ann Lloyd. So I'm just curious, who's more vulnerable here? Say what? Wait a minute. Breaking news. Camille said, Auntie Mickey, I got a notification on my saying no SNAP benefits for November, and the orange orangutan said no to emergency SNAP benefits, even though there are funds available. Well, don't that just bite you in the butt? That just goes, but this is all by design. There's no way around it. We live in a society now where the government is 3-4 steps ahead of us in how they maneuver. Yes, now that I did see, LaWanda, that 25 states are suing. They are suing. But, again, this is all by design. This is part of the plan. This is how they want to go. They want to go marching into martial law. And they need, and it ain't going to be just black folk. It's going to be white folk, Latino folk, everybody that's on these public assistance programs. Mr. Phillips, that would be a good idea, but I'd be kind of concerned on what they would do to the kids. Mr. Phillips said, our kids need to march on the White House. And that would be a great idea. However, with this fool in office, I don't know what he would instruct the National Guard or whomever he's got staged to protect the White House and that $300 million ballroom he's building. It's crazy, though, that we're at this point. Right, Faith. I didn't get to read the transcript, but I am glad the partner that told the truth. They said he stated that the officer said that he was more scared of Sean Grayson than of Sonya. Absolutely. That speaks volumes right there, because partners don't generally testify against their partner, let alone fellow officers that they're not partnered with. They got the same good old boy network type of mentality, except theirs is dedicated to the boys in blue. They're not affiliated with a certain race. They're affiliated with the uniform. Hello, Lady of Elegance Candles. How are you, sweetheart? I hope you're doing well. I know I am. I'm doing good. Doing good. But again, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they had to play the little, we got to give them something. We got to give them something. Because if we don't, we're going to have a whole bunch of hell on our hands in that part of the world. That's what it all boils down to. But society created that monster. Them boys in blue created that monster. It's sad. It's very sad. But at least we know he's going to the pokey. I hope they put him in Gen Pop. That might be a stretch in asking for. But if they put him in Gen Pop, God help him. Because somebody gonna make him name Midge. Okay, let's put it. Somebody gonna make him they bitch. I don't care how big he is. There's folks in there that ain't got nothing else to lose. Yes, Faith, you're right. The states gave out food stamps illegally to these illegal immigrants. That is what caused this mess. I think it was caused long before that. They should have put a cap on people receiving them a long time ago. Not just when illegal immigrants came in. This is something that has been a problem for many, many years. Different administrations that never tried to get a chokehold on this whole thing. You know, for one thing, we need to roll the time clock back to when it was an honorable thing to work for your survival. Work being the operative word. Work. Absolutely, Mr. Phillips. But that's what they want. That's what they want. They want folk to act a fool. And they ready for them, too. I hope they ready to house them. House them right there in the jail. That's going to be a whole nother problem. That right there. But Mr. Grayson got the guilty verdict of second degree unaliving. I hate having to speak in code on YouTube. Jesus, let's call it what it is. Red rum, spelled backwards. And that's what he wants, LaWanda. LaWanda, you just hit the nail on the head. That's what I've been saying. I read he said he don't have a problem bringing in martial law if he needs to. That's what he's trying to do. You see, they've already got him in the blue states. It's already been put into effect. This is just to push it a little bit longer, put a little bit further. Because they're playing chess when others are playing checkers. They're playing chess. They go in the long haul. That's what chess is. It's a long game. Checkers is just a short little, pass the time game. Yep, it's time for dinner. We can stop now. That's the problem. There's so many people that are very capable and have been for quite some time capable of getting up, getting out, and getting something. Hi, Q Rock. How are you, sweetheart? There's been tons of people that have been more than qualified to get up, get out, and get something. But this system has allowed them to skirt by for so long and make it a generational thing. And yes, we must admit that there has been some, generational cultural discrepancies in terms of how they treat some different than others. Holding people down. It says, but they was giving these illegal $2,000 to $5,000 per month, a month per person. If that's not a slap in the American citizens, absolutely, absolutely, that was a big old slap. But it ain't nothing new under the sun. That ain't nothing new under the sun. Before they was doing that, I can recall. See, I listen. Ooh, I used to work with a young man who was an immigrant from Somalia. He hit me to the game. Oh, honey, retreader, I understand. I got fat fingers too. I do it all the time, and I'll be on a computer and it'll still mess up. I done messed up my comma key, so I got to bang on it sometime to get my point across. I used to work with a gentleman from Somalia, and he used to brag to me about how he was able to thrive in America. Now, this is a brother that at the age of 12, I believe it was, he came over here on a boat. Okay? Came over here on a boat. And he grew up, he was educated here and whatnot. But one thing he told me, when the first moment you get off that boat, you are not even assigned, you don't get to give them your real birthday. So many of those people were just throwing up years. I was born in the year blah, blah, blah. Some of those people lied about their ages. And the government, rather than to really stick to clarity, they just assigned them all January 1st. You were born January 1st. Okay? So here, that's the first problem. They came in under false pretenses in many cases. Okay? Then he meets a young lady a few years later from Somalia as well. Brings her over, can't speak English. By this time now they've got a whole bunch of kids. Okay, after he marries her. And they get a whole bunch of kids, and because of all these children, they qualify for low-income housing. Okay? And with that low-income housing, it was not low-income housing that we knew about back in the day where, you moved into the projects. No, here in Seattle, they tore down the projects and built new ones that didn't look nothing like projects. They call it Little Africa now. And this is no shade on Africans. So please don't take that as though I'm digging in on Africans. I'm just trying to make a point that this is not a situation that just happened with illegal immigrants. They've been throwing our money at other people from other countries for years. And that's how the mentality of people that were brought here generations ago and that know the history get an attitude about that mess. How you gonna help these folks? They coming over here willingly. And my forefathers was brought here against their will. And now, for years we've been beat down, ain't been able to get the same jobs, opportunities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This has been going on for generation after generation. So let me get back to Mr. Somalian friend. Later on down the line, me and him are working the same job. And at that time, this was in 2004 or 5, somewhere in that area, when he and I had a long conversation. And by this time, he done got the same kind of job, that I have. And even though I had been there for at least 15 years before he got there, I mean, not to say that he didn't deserve a position as well, but he was given a higher position than many others who were qualified could have taken the same position. So, the type of position that I held, we had jurisdiction over the transportation department of the international airport. In other words, we sold them permits to operate, limo drivers, taxi drivers, shuttles, any type of ground transportation at the airport. Okay. I was a lead at the time, and he was just a regular controller. However, he was able to somehow or another, I'm not sure where he got the funds, but he purchased a taxi. Red flag number one, he purchased a taxi. That's conflict of interest in our line of work, because we have jurisdiction over these drivers. But you go out and buy a taxi. It got so good to him, he bought another taxi. And he put these two taxis in family members' names. Okay, now, this is where it gets good. Wifey speaks no English. And this gentleman has created a business. Check this out. He created a business that when new people from his country come over, he offers his services for a price on how to manipulate the system legally. He knows all the ins and outs, all the different programs, all those things that we can't take advantage of because we already here. We from here. You understand what I'm saying? And he gets his wife into the housing. By this time, they have 6 children. She can't speak a lick of English. So who has to go in and speak on her behalf? Him. Even though they're married, okay? They're married, and generally, a married couple, if it were us, we wouldn't get any benefits. A married couple with children, you get your asses out there and get some jobs. Okay? But in their case, he was able to finagle and speak on her behalf, got her into this housing. Then they let him live there too. And how he was able to do that is because he declared that it is against our religion that I am separated from my children. He used the religion card. So this hustle, this country has been getting hustled and allowing themselves to be hustled for a long time. Yes, he's a hustler, Fonda. He's a legal hustler. And from what I understand, he still works there. I've been gone for a long time, so. But it's just, I said all that to say this, that it ain't just these folks, the illegal immigrants that we have been focused on lately in terms of from Mexico. There's other folks out there that have been coming over here, taking advantage of what this great country of ours has to offer them. It's crazy. Exactly, Faith. And I'm talking damn near 20 years ago. almost 20 years ago. He's driving a brand new, at the time he was driving a brand new van, and told me, well, my religion is against being in debt, so I had to buy a brand new van. Oh, well, you got it on like that. Okay, I see. Okay. I see. But that's just that side of the coin. But now when we talking about us, I'm not going to let everybody off the hook. Because there's plenty of us that have been fully capable, not just black folks, not just white folks, all folks that have been here for a long time and have been fully capable of carrying the load for their family. I remember there was a time where the man in a family, the man held his role in the house and took care of his family. I remember a time where mama stayed home and did all the wifely duties, so to speak. Raising the kids, cleaning the house, cooking the food, all those things. And my grandfather, not one day did he ever take a handout of any kind. He worked past his retirement. And he did that because he would get more money on his Social Security and retirement if he worked a couple of years longer than the cutoff date of 65 at that time. But nowadays, people just want to, exist. No honor. No honor. And we're not passing it on to our kids. It's honorable to get up off your rusty, dusty ass and find a job. It may not be the most prestigious job that you want, but it's a job nonetheless. I'll give them Vietnamese credit. Since we're talking about different ethnicities, I'll give them Vietnamese credit. They will get together. They will band together. They'll live in a 2-bedroom apartment, 15 people. And they all share and put away money until the next couple or whomever can benefit from that arrangement. They work together. Unfortunately, in our society, in our culture, we don't see a lot of that. We don't see a lot of working together. Yes, Fonda, Mexicans too. But it just floors me. It floors me that we can sit back and just be lackadaisical in this. Faith says, but I was kind of salted when I seen the woman with the food stamps had crab legs, the shrimp, and the steaks, and I had only chicken in my basket. Thank you. Thank you. But once again, the head space. When you getting something for free for so long, you forget it. You can lose it at any time. Anytime. This ain't all. It's gonna end eventually. Whether the government ends it, or your personal situation may end it, or God may end it. So, unfortunately, we're going through this situation now. And ain't too much we can do about it. And a lot of people are going to do the wrong thing to display their displeasure about it. And that's exactly how they're going to play into the hands of the government. That's my own personal opinion. It doesn't mean a hill of beans. Not a hill of beans. But I'm gonna start with Sean Grayson for now. Hold on just a second, let me turn this down. So, of course, we've got the Sean Grayson situation. And for those that didn't see it earlier. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm missing something here. Here, hold on just a second. Let me get this back up. Hold on just a moment. Now the one that I wanted, for some reason or another, it has disappeared. So give me just a second. I'm just going to go ahead and play this one. Shoot. Give me a moment. Oh, wait, this StreamYard is killing me. Until I can get used to this, this is going to be a problem. Okay, here we go.
When Sonya Massey thought there was a prowler outside her home in Springfield, Illinois, she called 911 for help and wound up dead, shot by one of the responding sheriff's deputies. Today, that deputy was convicted by a jury, but not of the most serious charge against him. Jerika Davis at the courthouse in Peoria.
Make no mistake, Sean Grayson is convicted of murder.
After the second day of deliberations, a jury spared former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson from serving up to life in prison. He was facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, but a jury found him guilty on 1 count of second-degree murder.
I'm trying to get help, y'all.
During the 8-day trial, jurors watched body camera video from July of 2024 when Grayson and his partner arrived at Sonya Massey's home after she called 911 to report a suspected prowler.
I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I swear to God, you straight your face.
The defense argued the boiling water Massey can be seen removing from her stove was a weapon and that she escalated the situation. Officer Grayson, they argued, was defending himself. But prosecutors countered, saying Massey's death was a murder that was senseless and avoidable. The video shows the moment Grayson shot Massey and then left the 36-year-old mother of 2 in a pool of blood.
Let her just... There's nothing we can do, man.
He did exactly what he said he would do.
He sure did.
He told my child he would shoot her in the effing face. And he did it.
We sat down with Massey's family after the verdict. How much do you all think race played in this case?
I think it was the deciding factor.
To the Grayson family, what's your message to them?
I feel sorry for them. The mother came over and apologized, and she said, we did not raise him that way, and I'm really sorry for your family.
Earlier this year, Sangamon County agreed to pay the Massey family $10 million in response to a wrongful death lawsuit. Grayson's second-degree murder conviction means he could spend up to 20 years in prison. And Maurice, we did reach out to Grayson's attorney, who told us he had no comment.
Wow. So basically, from what I understand, the family's already received a $10 million settlement from a lawsuit for wrongful death. And I'm sorry, but that's just not enough. I'm sorry. $10 million is nothing compared to the years that was ahead of her life that she had to raise her children, the time that the daddy has left on this earth to spend with his daughter. It don't matter about her mentality. That's still their child, his child. And I'm really sad that the jury, took the easy way out. They took the easy way out. Second-degree murder. And that's something that the judge actually threw out there for them to consider. I wonder if they would have found him guilty or not guilty if that had not been an option. It just further... Whew. Anyway. We saw a short clip just now of the family reaction. But I think this might be a little bit more in depth for you. Yeah, Ben Crump was there today, wasn't he?
You are breaking news in the Sean Grayson murder trial. Sonya Massey's family now addressing the public outside of the courthouse in Peoria. Our Brandon Morano is standing by with more.
Brandon.
Kelly, the verdict was read to the jury.
Let me turn this up.
Sonya
It's
Massey's
kind of
family
low.
is talking right now. I'll get back with you in just a minute. I want to let you listen into this.
Of this fine and great family with the storied history in Sangamon County. First of all, it goes without saying, it's the Massey family. You look at this strength and show of support from everybody, the community, the family, and friends, the activists. Thank you so much. It was a tremendous show of force, and we are so grateful. Secondly, the fiercest defender of civil rights in this country that I know, my brother, Benjamin Crump. Thank you, Ben, for everything that you do, not only for the Massey family, but also for our country and defending people's civil rights. The Sangamon County State's Attorney's Office. Wow. They delivered the message to this jury. And their message is the one that the jury said, we rebuke you, Sean Grayson. Yes. That's what they said today. This second-degree murder charge, make no mistake, Sean Grayson is convicted of murder. He is a murderer now. This is not the exact outcome the family was looking for. They wanted first-degree murder. Yes. And when you boil this case down, it comes down to 4 words. Was Donna a threat? Sonya. Was Sonya a threat?
Get it right now. Get it right.
The unequivocal answer is no. She was not a threat. She was never a threat. And that's what was proven in this court. The difference is that the jury found that there was some issue of self-defense. But his self-defense was not found to be reasonable, and that's the difference between the first and second-degree murder. Sean Grayson, we disagree with this. He had the cover of that counter in between him and Sonya. He had the power of a gun. He had the strength of a badge and a shield. And what did he do with that strength and power? He told Sonya, who was holding a pot, I am going to shoot you in the face.
That in itself, right there, that was a threat. That was a threat right there. That would, in my eyes, constitute first degree right there. He made a threat. He made a threat. She didn't threaten him. As a matter of fact, when they came to her house, remember, she called them. She called them for help. And you could tell from the body cam footage of the other officer, you could tell from that body cam footage that they right off the jump realized that there was something little off about her. As you recall, I think it was this big lug that asked her, "Now, are you okay?" His little spidey senses picked up exactly what the deal was. And as a police officer, you're trained to deal with those types of situations. Now, once it was determined that there was nobody outside, and this is just my own opinion, once they determined that there was nobody outside because she heard noises outside, thought someone might have been breaking in or something, and they discovered the vehicle out there with the busted out window. Once they determined that there was no one out there, and they went around and let her know that everything's cool, that should have been the moment to leave. Officers are not supposed to just jump in and play psychologist. That's not your job. That's not your job. You went there for a purpose. You discovered that there was no problematic issues outside of the home. If you thought that there was an issue with her mental stability, you didn't have to you didn't have to bogart into her house. That was not your job. That was not your job to do. You secured the area, and if you were that concerned, you could have sat out there in front of her house for a while. That's just my own personal opinion. It's just my own personal opinion. I do know that there had been visits, that there had been a visit to the hospital that his girlfriend worked at. I don't know if there was some sort of interaction between them two. I don't know. But the fact still remains, as a police officer, once you determine that there is no threat to the individual that called on you for help, leave. I don't care if you clearly they picked up on there was something wrong with her up here. You ain't got to stay and babysit. Nobody told you to come and babysit. But if you feel compelled to do so, do that outside in your car, not in her house. And then he the one that pointed out the doggone pot on the stove. There was other ways that could have been handled. If you had a concern about the pot on the stove, you could have went over there and turned it off yourself. But I believe that this man wanted to go into that mode. He wanted to be the big bad wolf. It's 1:30 in the morning. I don't want to be here. He's a bully. His own partner said she wasn't a threat. I was scared of him. What do you think that means? How many partners have gone up against their partner? I'll wait. And matter of fact, where was Ben Crump during this trial? This is the first time I've seen him. You show up on the day of the verdict? Okay. I'll leave that alone.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is indicia of intent. And he carried out his intent and he shot her exactly where he said he was going to. Not anywhere else, but right in the face. And that's where, as much as we respect the jury and this legal process and the courts and his honor for his instructions and his diligence, we still see it as a first-degree murder charge, notwithstanding the respect that we have for the jury and the process. Sean Grayson had cover. Sonya, 110 pounds in a nightgown, a foot shorter than Sean Grayson. God knows how much less she weighed, did not have cover. All she had was a pot of water, and she thanked Sean Grayson before he came in the house for watching out over her home. This was not just a random attack. He knew what he was going to do before he did it. He had the requisite intent.
That's what
We
I
have some
believe.
speakers today.
Here's the other thing. I don't mean to jump in. As we all know, he shouldn't have never been hired on to begin with. But here's the problem, is that all these other jobs that he had, he was given an option to leave as opposed to being fired. That makes it a whole different ball game. That makes it a whole different ball game. He was having problems on other jobs, but because of the formalities of being let go versus quitting, that came into play. And some police officers are so strapped for recruits that they're taking almost any and everybody who's willing to put the badge on and the uniform. And that's part of the problem. Another part of the problem is that, we have some communities, and let's face it, this particular community is predominantly white. They give them the benefit of the doubt more than anybody else. Let me get back to this.
We have the family, and I'm so proud and honored of this family. And Summer is here also. Okay.
Y'all didn't even do what y'all just supposed to do.
We have Donna, we have James, we have Shantae, and Teresa Haley is going to speak next. Teresa is widely known in Sangamon County and Springfield for her advocacy and everything.
Now, you know what? This is a shame. This is the part that kind of gets to me. That young lady in the background that's starting to raise hell. Have some couth about yourself. You on national news, and you about to turn up because you want to talk. They got to tell you to be quiet. This is what I'm talking about some of these young people. I hate to say it. And I'm not going to say no home training. But it's just, have some damn couth about yourself. Damn.
Thing that she does for the citizens and the people of Sangamon County. And I'd like to introduce to you now Teresa Haley.
Yes. Good afternoon. Today is a painful day for me and people who look like me, especially black females. As I said in Chicago, we can't call the police and feel safe in our own homes. That's what Sonya did. She called for help, you all, and she was murdered in her own home. This verdict was long overdue. It is not the verdict that we wanted, but he will pay. God will provide. Cancer didn't strike his body just to strike his body. He will pay. Sonya's family continues to suffer. Her children continue to suffer. And people say, hey, the kids got $10 million. What the heck is $10 million when you don't have your mama?
Nothing.
They will give back the $10 $10 million to have Sonya back. Wouldn't we give it back? Yes. Say
That's
her
right.
name. Sonya Massey. Say her name. Sonya Massey. Say her name. Sonya Massey. So what we need to do back in Sangamon County, the home of the 1908 race riots, the home where President Obama announced that he was running for president.
Thank you for the clarification, Faith. Thank you.
We have to continue to fight to change the laws because there's no justice. It's just us. And we are tired of standing alone. And we thank our white brothers and sisters and everybody else for coming out and protesting with us. But had the roles been reversed, if that was a black man and a white woman's house, he would have got the death penalty. Well, in Illinois, we got rid of the death penalty, but he would have gotten life in prison. Second-degree murder, that is not right. That is not justice for anybody's family, regardless of who you are and where you come from. So we're going to work extremely hard, not only in Sangamon County, not only in the state of Illinois, but throughout this country to change the laws. People need to understand that there's a major difference between second-degree murder and first-degree murder. I'm talking 40, 50 years difference in sentence. Do y'all know that this man, even though it may be 20 years, he can get out in 10 years? 10 years! Say her name. Sonya Massey. Say her name. Sonya Massey. Say her name. Sonya Massey. Thank y'all. Pray for the family, please.
Here's the other thing she failed to mention. A possible sentence for second-degree murder could range anywhere from 4 to 20 years or probation. That last little one they don't say too often, but probation is also a possibility. I just thought I'd let y'all know about that because that's what's so unnerving about this verdict. It ain't even sentencing time yet.
Anybody who saw the video and thinks that it was partly Sonya's fault is inhumane. And for them to not get the life, and Sonya got life and death, he should be under the jail. I can't wait till he goes to hell. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Bless her heart.
James Wilburn.
Her name was Sonya Lene Wilburn Massey. I'm James Wilburn. I'm her father. Sean Grayson should be able to get out of jail. My daughter can get out of that burial vault and walk out of Oakwood Cemetery. And I know that plot that's waiting for him, he can get to it as soon as he can. And it wouldn't make me any difference at all. But there's a difference in this country when you have my skin color and Grayson's skin color. We need serious justice, not a miscarriage of justice that happened here in Peoria. We need to pass the George Floyd Policing Act. We need to pass the John Lewis Voting Act. We need to make the Sonya Massey law across the whole United States.
That's right.
Then no family in our country can go through what our family has gone through, because this man should have never had a badge and a gun. This man was kicked out of the service. He was in 6 police departments in 3.5 years. That is shameful. Shameful on Sangamon County for even having a person like that, giving him a gun and a badge. And his gun, he had a sight on it. He had a laser sight. So all he had to do was put that laser sight where what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to shoot my daughter in the face, and he did it.
He did it.
He shot 3 times, but even with a laser on and going through a police academy twice, he still only shot her the once. which was good enough. But you
That's
see,
what he wanted.
my Judeo-Christian upbringing tells me to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So my joy here today is that I know I'll see my baby again. And whenever the sun opens and Gabriel blows that horn, we're going to leave here and I'll see her again. That's about all I can tell y'all right now.
Ooh.
Next, you will hear from Sean Massey.
I don't really have any speech prepared. I'm fueled by rage right now. You get an officer that says he's going to shoot you in the face, and then he shoots you in the face, and you only get second-degree murder.
That's not just a shot in the face, that's a slap in the face to those left behind. That part right there. He said a mouthful right there.
So the justice system did exactly what it's designed to do today. It's not meant for us. But I tell you what, I will dedicate my life to dismantling the systems that created this problem. The fight has just begun for me. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Say her name! Sonya Massey! Say her name! Sonya Massey! Say her name! Sonya Massey! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Yes.
Are there any?
Now, if they can take that same energy down in front of that White House or to their state capitol and get a bunch of other folk to join them, they might get somewhere. But one snippet on TV ain't gonna do it. One snippet after the trial is not gonna do it. People have to activate and stop looking at other people to do it for them. It says we the people. It says we the people, not y'all the higher ups that have some kind of notoriety. Faith said this is where Crump needs to come in, help start making laws for crimes against black, brown, colored people. Well, start showing up for the real deal before the last day. You can start there. I don't have a whole lot of faith in people that are there for the money. Now, if Crump want to impress somebody, get up off your high horse and start working towards some laws that are going to rectify this. That's all I'm saying. He's no different from Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. What are you doing outside of the camera? What are you doing outside of the camera? Why do you pick and choose certain cases to appear at? Where are you with Romika? Is it Romika Weeks? What, it ain't paying enough money for you? Not enough notoriety for you? It's not in the news enough? It has to be a big case. Sonya Massey was a big case. And even still, he still didn't show up until the last day of the doggone verdict. So I don't have a whole lot of I don't know what to say. I just don't feel like, it's going to take us It's going to take us, and it's going to take us to get all lawmakers to get on the good foot and do what's right. If you want to uphold that Constitution for everybody, not just white folks, not just Mexicans who need a safe place to go, not just for white folks that's been running things from the very beginning, which you stole this land in the first damn place, but don't get me started on that. These lawmakers need to get on the good foot and get it together instead of playing games. Have y'all ever met a broke politician? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever met a broke politician. There's a method to my madness. If you would please give me this moment. Put a 1 in the chat if you have ever seen a broke politician. I guess y'all have seen broke politicians. I'll put my 1 there. If you've seen a broke politician, put a 1 in the chat. I've never seen a broke politician, so I can't say that I have.
Questions?
I'd like to know if the family is concerned about him getting probation.
Look, we can't be concerned about that now. What we do need to be concerned about is that he gets a maximum sentence here. Now, I don't even think that that's a thought in their mind. When you look at the fact that the jury found that his self-defense was unreasonable, we don't even want to think about probation. That's not even a thought. We're looking at maximum sentence. Now that we're here with second-degree murder, we're looking at maximum sentence.
Oh boy, here we go.
Of course not.
Let me clarify what I mean by a politician. I'm talking about these politicians that hold seats in the House, in the Senate, mayors, people that are of stature, not people just going into the business. I'm talking about people that are politicians, active politicians.
Of course not. When you look at that video, the video speaks for itself. When the video shows that Sean Grayson, with the cover of a counter and the barrel of a gun, staring at Sonya Massey, said, "If you don't put that down, I'm going to shoot you in the face," and seconds later did it, I think anybody can see that's intent.
For Teresa or Sante, can you talk about what that fight means? Sante talked about what the fight means from here on out.
Well,
Lord have
for
mercy.
us, it means justice. It means working with our legislators in Illinois and across the country to change the law. We need to call this a Sonya Massey law. We have a bill in Illinois. Now we need a law regarding second-degree murder. I mean, it was obvious to all of us that this was first-degree murder. There should not have been another option, but there was an option. And now we have to do our part to make a difference and to make a change and make sure that people never forget. Say her name! Sonya Massey! Say her name! Sonya Massey! Say her name! Sonya Massey!
Well, I'll let the family speak, but clearly they had options. They had options here. They had first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and then, of course, the unthinkable. And there was some sort of discussion. There was a fight. I'm not saying a physical fight, but there was some sort of fight as to what it should be. So we don't know what that was. Was there a fight between first and second? Was there a fight between second and something else? We don't know. But ultimately, they settled upon second degree, and we know they deliberated, 11 to almost 12 hours with a week's worth of testimony. That's significant. So there was a lot of discussion in that jury room. James, Donna?
I think that we have to, seriously, because Illinois has been a forerunner with the Sonya Massey bill. But we found out as a family we need to take it further. We have a legislature here in Illinois who is ripe for the kind of change that it should go across the whole United States. And we saw today that there is such a various difference between first degree and second degree. There was no doubt in any of our minds that this was first degree murder. I'm sure
Thank you, Faith, for that information.
there's no doubt in Sean Grayson's mind. But his attorneys were skillful enough that they threw crap against the wall. They said that my daughter was the aggressor. And you give me a 9mm with a laser on it and a pot, I'll take the 9mm any day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sean Grayson had. I don't know why he was such an evil person, but my daughter said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And see, we believe in Jesus. We do.
And see, that's another part of the problem. Some folks are so hell-bent against any type of religious affiliation of any kind, or spirituality for that matter, that they just automatically let that demon out and have to be combative at any cost when it comes down to anything spiritually related. You mentioned Jesus. They lose their damn minds.
He's my Lord and Savior. And I know that there'll be justice for Sean Grayson. And it might not be in this world, but it'll be in the next one.
Mr. Wilbur, what was it like for you sitting in the courtroom, hearing the defense attorneys painting Sonya Massey in the way that they did, calling her the aggressor, and ultimately, what was that like for you, for your family, watching that body camera video?
It is probably the most disgusting and vile video that anybody has ever seen in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, when I think about the George Floyds and the Breonna Taylors and everybody else, the Laquan McDonald's, this truly, I think, shocked the conscience of the court. I think that's why we saw Judge Cadogan rule that he was not going to get any bail. Who gets bail on 3 counts of first-degree murder? And I think State's Attorney Millhiser, he charged this thing properly. He didn't overcharge it. He didn't undercharge it. But the problem is the law here in Illinois. That needs to be changed. So that should have a different option, maybe aggravated murder, something in between. And this looks like it was a compromise verdict more than anything.
Exactly.
What are you hoping to get at the sentencing hearing? What are you hoping to see happen?
Max. Yes. Whatever the max is. Yes. Not one day less.
That's right.
Than the max.
And he still won't have to do that.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's what she was saying. Yeah. So Sonya is the reason why we're here. And the last thing that she would say is, I love you, Daddy. I wear I love you, Daddy on my wrist every day. Because that's the way we ended every conversation, be it in person or on the phone, was I love you, Daddy. Sonya was a daddy's girl. You know.
Is there any solace at all that can be taken from a conviction on second-degree murder, or is this not that sort of a thing?
How would you feel? Go ahead. Let me ask you that. How would you feel if your child was shot in the face and they came back with a second-degree murder conviction? Anybody out here, I can ask the same thing, and you'll say the same thing. It's not justified. It's not. She invoked the name of Jesus.
But Wanda, you says I'm buffering on this. Am I buffering now? Let me know if I'm buffering. God forbid I don't want to start buffering on this. Okay, I don't know where you are in the live.
And he got a maximum, or potentially a maximum, of 20 years.
But that's not justice. Richard Pryor said a long time ago, when you go down to a courthouse in this country, you find just us.
Yep.
Just us.
Good old Richard.
That's poor white people, poor black people, poor brown people.
Hey,
There is a thing, it's called white privilege. And if you don't realize it, I'm telling you today, there is white privilege. And that's what this jury verdict came out today. It's all about white privilege.
What did she mean by it? I mean, I can only speak to what I know. I know that I saw my little sister in fear. Now, what I can say is, in this country, what gets dismissed as a mental health episode in my community is just simple fear. So we see things objectively different. We say that we are afraid. The other side says, well, they have a mental health issue.
But they were bantering. There was light conversations about moving away from the water.
She was trying to lighten the mood.
The cold part about it is I could give two shits about any of what these questions are. The fact still remains this bear that came into her house when he should have freaking left once they decided that there was no threat outside. They should have took their behinds, got in their car and left her be. I don't care if they did determine that she had an issue, a mental issue. Okay. The fact still remains is that she having mental issues that's not grounds to enter her home and start looking around. That's not what she called you for. He had look, if you have a problem with the doggone pot on the stove boiling, go over there and take it off the stove your damn self. Or what, she gonna jump on your back? She only weighed $105 soaking wet. What are you talking about? So they can say all they want about, let me shut up. Before I get pissed off.
That's what I saw. I mean, I talk to Sonya every day. So what I saw was somebody that was trying to de-escalate, contrary to what the experts on the defensive side said. She tried to de-escalate the whole situation.
Right. Is there any kind of way we could change the legislation to make sure that we have more balanced jurors? This was definitely an imbalance. We only had one African American. We did have a number of white females. Is there any legislation where we can ensure we have a balanced jury?
So let me say first that a lot of the bills and the laws that we talked about that is in Sonya's name is Senate Bill 1953, which Governor Pritzker signed into law in August of this year. That is on the books. Now we know that that's not enough because there is such a big gap between the sentencing, between the second degree and the first degree murder charge, that we need aggravated murder. We need, because if this was an aggravated murder by anyone's definition, if not a first degree murder outright.
Here's the other thing that they're not saying. He had a jury of his peers. Now, we're not talking about the demographics of the community. They are, when someone is when they're up for a trial, you have to have your peers. They have your peers. These were not Sonya's peers on the jury. They were his peers. Now, what do you think his peers are going to look like? I mean, let's call it. Look, truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. But if we're going to talk about the law, there's the law right there. The jury was selected in favor of him because they were his peers, not hers. But they need to fix these laws. It doesn't even get to this point of having to sit before a jury and map out exactly what was right, what was wrong, what the intent was, what the intent wasn't. As an officer, you're supposed to meet specific criteria. Specific criteria in which he had a problem meeting clearly from 6 jobs prior. Now, the accountability is not only on him, but those other individuals that hired and let him go or let him off easy by allowing him to quit. Where is the accountability for them? You just sent a crazy person that you didn't want to deal with on the job anymore out there into public to possibly go and work for another police department. How does that make you feel? I'm curious how these other police departments that he used to work for, how do they feel now? You let him off scot-free by letting him quit. So you wouldn't have to deal with the backlash or the paperwork or whatever the freak you wanted to not deal with. You let a madman out there until he finally did what he was going to do. And it was going to happen. One way or another. Not just for who hired him, but who let him go. And have no record of why he was let go. This is the kind of job you don't let Charlie just, hey man, listen. We're going to give you a choice. Now you ain't working out, you having issues with your temper or whatever his issues were on these other police forces. But listen, this is what we going to do. We can either terminate you or you can quit. What you think he gonna choose? I'm just asking. Simple question.
So we need that. Now, to answer your question, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. That is the right that we have in a civil and a criminal courtroom, a jury of your peers. I don't know that was a jury of Sonya's peers.
It was.
Was it a jury of Grayson's peers?
Yes.
It was overwhelming, right? It was overwhelming, and who knows the thought process that went into that jury room to achieve this verdict. Now, are there laws? There are ways to combat imbalanced juries. And as an attorney, we try and employ those tactics whenever we can to ensure fairness, because that's what this is supposed to be about. Fairness and accountability and principles. And we stand on our belief that it should have been first-degree murder, but we are grateful that there's a conviction of murder here.
Would Ms.
Now,
Donna like to add anything? Would you feel comfortable adding in?
What's the question?
Not yet.
All right, why don't we take one more question?
Let me say thank you to John.
So go ahead. Yes.
I just want to say thank you to John Milhiser, the state's attorney in Sangamon County. I jokingly say he's my favorite Republican, but I think we need to cross aisles now. I can tell you that John Milhiser did a yeoman's job, and I think he heartily approved that this was first-degree murder. In anybody's mind, we didn't get what we wanted today. And I think that was a serious miscarriage of justice. But Sean Grayson will get his. He'll get his.
Yes, he will.
Thank you, Mary Beth Rogers. You did a great job. Thank you, Sheriff here in Peoria, Chris. Your men did a great job of providing protection for us while we were here. All of you people, I think I just love the people in Illinois, because Illinois is the first state in the country that passed the Sonya Massey law. But I guarantee you, it will not be the last.
Amen.
Our lawyers, it's not their fault that he got second degree. They fought real hard, and I thank all our lawyers because they're not in the jury. We can't blame them for that. They did a great job, and I appreciate them. And there's a few other things I want to say, but I can't think right now. And I really thank you guys for coming out and for your support. And I pray that Sean Grayson gets his just reward.
And that's how we're going to end this, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well done.
Oh, this is too much. This is too much. Well, I will say this. This should have been an issue a long time ago. People should have been marching on Washington a long time ago on this issue. This ain't the first, and it ain't going to be the last. Point blank, period. Yes, Nadine, this father is to be commended. Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay. Steel side. Wait a minute. Steel side lane. There we go. I hope he can get plenty of commissary. Is it commissary? For baby oil, lube, whatever he gonna need. He gonna need something. Anywho. Moving on. November 1st is approaching. What's today's date? Today's the 29th. We got 2 more days left in this month before the 1st of November. I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to even see what's going to happen. But I was watching, there's a content creator here by the name of Reese Waters. I really enjoy watching him. He's funny as hell. Shout out to Reese Waters. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with his video from today about healthcare and SNAP benefits. If you give me just a moment to break this down a little bit. And I'm going to turn this doggone music off again because it gets in the way. But just to lighten things up a little bit, I hope you enjoy him because he's really, if you get a chance, go over, check him out if you haven't done so already. He's a great content creator. And he's a comedian as well in his own right. He's not a stand-up comedian that I know of, but he gets his point across. I'll put it like that. So let me get started on him.
Hey, shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and I'm troubled.
Donald Trump just fucked up. Like, why would you take away these people benefits?
Can y'all hear this? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it. Sometimes StreamYard be tripping. Let me know if you can hear this. Okay, all right. I'll continue. And I'm going to let this play for a few minutes because I got to go down here and get the rest of my tea. So let me step away, but I'm going to play this. Go ahead.
We literally just had to go home because everybody came into my grocery store. I work at Walmart. Everybody came into Walmart bum rushing, stealing, like filling up buggies, running out the store, like just putting all the groceries in their cart because he want to cut off motherfucking food stamps. Y'all, this shit is crazy. Like, I think y'all are getting y'all food stamps in November, or maybe some of y'all is not, but like, they literally just had to like do emergency evacuation at our store because everybody came in going crazy over like food for their kids and shit. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. Isn't this the same orange dude that y'all voted for to be in presidency? Like, isn't this the same dude, the same Lorax man y'all voted for? Like, y'all, this shit is crazy. They literally had to like evacuate all of the employees at my job to the back because everybody came in stealing. Everybody said, fuck Christmas, fuck holidays. Like, we finna just take everything out this bitch. Like, this shit is crazy.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, brother. That sounds like early Black Friday right there for no good reason. Because as you guys know, the White House now claims it's legally barred from using emergency funds to keep SNAP running. But journalists discovered this directly contradicts the USDA's publicly released shutdown plan. The White House clearly wants to end SNAP and is lying to protect themselves. The White House wants to end SNAP and is lying to protect themselves. Now, let's take those one at a time. Is the White House known for lying to protect themselves?
Alternative facts to that.
Okay, let's move on to the next part. They want to end SNAP. I wonder what evidence there might be for them wanting to end SNAP. Because if I know anything about this White House, they left all of the breadcrumbs. Or in Trump's case, I guess it would be McDonald's crumbs.
Well, this is an important cup of tea. A whole lot of y'all have reached out to me today about the news that's spreading that people that receive SNAP benefits will not receive their benefits starting November 1st. SNAP benefits, EBT, that is food stamps. And yes, a letter was sent to states to tell them to withhold releasing funds to recipients, dear. And in that letter, they were talking about the shutdown. But that's not what's going on. No, baby, I've got the entire cup of tea. So what you may not know is that back in May, the current regime sent letters all across the US of A to the SNAP departments, to the EBT departments, requesting data on EBT recipients, those who receive food stamp benefits, going all the way back, this is important, all the way back to 2020. Now, what was going on in the United States in 2020? The flu-pocalypse. And because of the flu-pocalypse, people in the United States were receiving SNAP benefits that had never received SNAP benefits before.
Period. They don't talk about that, though, do they? People started receiving SNAP benefits because of the pandemic in many cases. And some of those folks keep getting them. Now, can we say reset, boys and girls?
The emergency SNAP benefits. Millions of Americans who had never received SNAP benefits before were receiving them because we were in a national emergency because of the flu-pocalypse. Just like people who had never before qualified for unemployment because they were 1099 employees were receiving unemployment benefits because we were in a crisis here. Okay. So it's safe to say that a whole lot of the people who started freshly and newly receiving benefits in 2020 are no longer receiving those benefits anymore because that emergency is over. Right? Now, blue states refuse, 27 states turned over that data. Red states They turned over that data to the federal government about who in their state receives these SNAP benefits. And this isn't regular data. This is all your personal information. You see, we already give data to the federal government about SNAP benefits, not the names of the people who receive it or their home addresses or their social security numbers or all that other stuff that you put on those applications. Just data about how many people are receiving the benefits and what the amounts are. That's normal. But asking for all this personal data is not normal. And blue states came out to say, nope, we're not sending you this data because this is just another play by this regime to collect data on Americans for surveillance for immigration operations. And they refused to send in that private data to the current regime. And it pissed off the current regime, dear. It did. It pissed them off. Because legally, these states don't have to turn over that data.
Requesting data on SNAP recipients. Well, that's not suspicious now, is it? By the way, is this what you found? The overwhelming majority of SNAP benefits who can work do work. Every dollar in SNAP benefits generates $173 in economic activity.
In answer to your question, Fonda, yep. Yes. That just in case preparation. It is in effect in this house right now and has been for a few years now.
SNAP has a fraud rate less than 3%, the lowest of any public benefit program, and undocumented immigrants have never been eligible for SNAP. But, never let facts get in the way of racist propaganda. This from Trump ally Mike Davis. We should only help people who can't help themselves. It's outrageous 40 million people get food stamps. Get off your fat ghetto asses. Get a job. Stop reproducing. Change your messed up culture. Stop giving food stamps to immigrants. Now, it's funny because being that wrong, typically you would characterize somebody as being ignorant. But clearly that is language which is only appropriate for some groups. Now, we've already seen the statistics on all the white recipients of SNAP benefits, a lot of whom are MAGA. And I just wonder how they're going to react to get off your fat ghetto asses, and get a job. How are they stop reproducing to the MAGAs? I don't know how that's going to land, Mike Davis. I don't know how that's going to land. Now, I will give you this, Mike Davis. You was cooking with change your culture. You was cooking with that. Well, I absolutely think the MAGAs should change their culture. It's raggedy. It is very, very raggedy. And in fact, I think the administration should probably change their culture, if we're being clear, because everything they do is just so telegraphed. You know what I mean? Like the groundwork for this was laid long ago.
To be crystal clear, what this bill did was create the potential for SNAP programs to no longer exist in any shape, form, or fashion in terms of providing SNAP benefits in states that could not afford to or chose not to, for whatever reason, meet the cost sharing. Is that a fair assessment of that, Ms. Green?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bivens?
Yes, it is.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes, sir.
I almost just want to sit in silence to let that sink in.
Hello.
The United States of America just signed into law a bill that will allow states, essentially, to determine whether or not they will provide food assistance to anyone, to federally funded food assistance to anyone.
So the question must be asked, if they clearly have this agenda to end this particular program amongst other social safety nets, what would be the purpose of that?
If there was one thing that I could try to get voters, all voters, to understand about this administration, it would be that the pain that they're experiencing and about to continue experiencing even more is a feature of this administration's program.
I'm going to be stopping this video periodically for fair use. So just let you know now, I may have to stop this video occasionally for fair use because it's for the purpose of criticism, comment, news reporting, etc., etc. So just letting you know.
Not a bug. The suffering is not a byproduct. It is the point. So when you see that letters are going out to each state from the U.S. Department of Agriculture saying that SNAP benefits may not be paid, may not be available for the month of November, they're sending out these warning letters that supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits, the benefits that go to 42 million people in this country, majority children in this country, when they're saying that those benefits may not be there in November and they're directing states, warning states to delay sending out the payments because the money's not there, you need to know first, the pain is the point. And you need to know second, they're lying when they say that they don't have the money. They have $4 to $5 billion in reserve, just the U.S. Department of Agriculture, in order to ensure that these benefits get paid even during a shutdown.
And I'm talking about pain like this single dad having to hold back tears because his paycheck can't cover food and rent while Trump's building a $350 million ballroom at the White House.
Faith, that is absolutely correct. They're using this to divide people. Why both parties are using citizens, underprivileged citizens, to negotiate deals between themselves. This is exactly what is going on between Republicans and Democrats. They're playing a chess game, and we're the pieces. We are the pieces. Them folks that are making these decisions, they're not going to go without. Not for one plum moment. We are the pieces. Or should I say those people that are receiving SNAP benefits. Those are the pieces on the chessboard. One side wants one thing, the other side wants another, and they playing back and forth. But point blank period. They playing back and forth, and people in need. And I'm not talking about those that have been doing this for years and you know, are fully capable of getting off their behinds and getting a job, even if it ain't to do nothing but DoorDash. There's honor in all work. But this country has allowed millions of people to sit on their ass and collect while people like us go to work every day and pay our taxes into all this. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Stub for an air traffic controller showing Tuesday's check will be for $0. It's why controller Jack Chris spends his days off driving DoorDash.
DoorDash.
You're not getting a tip.
The single dad is trying to make some extra money to help cover the cost of his daughter's high school tuition.
How stressful is life right now with this shutdown?
Yeah, man. It's been incredibly difficult. You can feel the tension, and it's heavy, and it hurts.
As the government shutdown rolls into its 25th day, Congress remains unable to make a deal.
She tipped $2 yesterday.
Chris says he's tapped his retirement funds and taken out a high-interest short-term loan to make sure he has the cash to weather a long shutdown.
And that's a shame that you have to take out a loan, a high-interest loan at that, just to make ends meet in the event that this goes a little longer than you anticipate. And LaWanda, you're absolutely right. They don't care because they set for life. That's why I asked the question, do you know of any broke politicians? I'm not talking about people that just started out. I'm talking about the ones that's out there passing these laws. Everybody comes in the beginning, at the bottom at some point. But I'm saying well-established politicians that are basically in these positions to make these decisions for their constituents. I don't know a broke one yet.
From the standpoint of a single working dad, how is all of this impacting life at home?
That's a great question. It's hard enough just going to work. Now when you add in not getting paid, that's when you just like multiply the level of pressure. Air traffic is a safety sensitive position. The margin of error is zero. So if you think about it, it's pressure on top of pressure when you don't know exactly when you'll get paid based on politics.
The Department of Transportation says it's continued to see an increased number of sick calls from controllers, leading to spotty staffing shortages.
Well, I don't want my air traffic controllers to take a second job, but they're having to make decisions about how they spend their time to make sure they put food on their table, feed their kids, and support their family members.
One of these days, y'all are going to understand that the cruelty is the point. The cruelty is the point. Because the Trump administration can and should take available steps to ensure SNAP participants get November food benefits. We have reserves for people who are on SNAP and WIC. They have money set aside for that will not be affected during a government shutdown. But because the president appoints the Secretary of Agriculture and all these kinds of things, that secretary can choose not to use that appropriation for SNAP and WIC, okay? See right here, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins has indicated and the media has reported that the U.S. Department of Agriculture will run out of funding for SNAP food assistance for November as a result of a government shutdown because she's not doing her fucking job. Because Republicans are evil and cruel idiots who think that people are in poverty on purpose and you're poor because you're lazy instead of the fact that their fucking legislation is what keeps people oppressed and takes away people's ability to earn a decent living in this country. About 1 in 8 people will not have the food assistance they need, including 16 million children, 8 million older adults, and 4 million people with disabilities. Okay? But nearly 2/3 of the funds needed for the full month of benefits are available in SNAP's contingency fund. And the law says it must be used when regular funding for SNAP runs short. But hold on. Now, despite this being a legal requirement, historically, Congress has provided SNAP funding through the annual appropriations process. This approach treats SNAP as what is known as an appropriated entitlement. And that's...
Hello, Urban. How you doing? Hi, Tracy. I just had to jump in here and say hello, everybody. Yeah, and this is crazy because they do have the funding available. They just choose not to use it now. But I still believe that this is something that could have been prepared for. If nothing else, get people to get an unction to get out there and get something. Now, that brother that we just showed earlier, he's an air traffic controller. He's not going to any organization trying to get a handout from nobody. He's out there driving because he's been conditioned to know that work is honorable. Absolutely, we could shut down this government. But you know what? These politicians, they need to sacrifice too. I ain't seen one of them take a pay cut. Ooh. Did I say something?
What the Republicans are always fighting against, appropriated entitlements. But it's also a law for them to provide it. Here it is right here. Under some legal interpretation, SNAP may have a permanent appropriation under the Food and Nutrition Act that would fund the program during lapses in appropriations. Like what? A Republican shutdown. Right here, these multi-year contingency funds are $3 billion a year that the 2024 and 2025 appropriation laws each made available for SNAP, and which are still available in fiscal year 2026.
Now, why ain't she in office? We need her in office. And I can't help but think she ain't the only one that's aware of these details. But like you said, Mr. Phillips, but they want to build a White House ballroom and send mine to Ukraine, send money to Ukraine. Yeah. Yeah, we can pay for a ballroom. And you can tear up the White House and build a ballroom, but you can make people you're basically setting up a situation where people are going to go and loot. Because I truly believe that Mr. Orangutan Man wants to go into martial law.
The law provides that these amounts shall be placed in reserve for use only in such amounts and at such times that may become necessary to carry out program operations. And don't you think giving people who need they SNAP and WIC is a necessary function? And the federal share is less than $500 million monthly. Right there, it's at the bottom, now it's at the top. It's less than $500 million monthly. So even after those costs are paid for October and November, more than $5 billion remains for SNAP benefits. This is a substantial share of the approximately $8 billion needed for a full month of benefits.
But the division is not us, Faith. It's the parties. That's the division. I personally don't affiliate any longer with either party. So I'm not going to go for the division situation in terms of people against people. We talking about a party against another party. They playing games. And we the ones that's basically having to deal with the fallout.
Now, the USDA sent a memorandum saying that if the current lapse in appropriations continues, there will be insufficient funds to pay full November SNAP benefits. It does not mean they can't pay any. They can pay part of it. They could give people some money to go get some food, but the cruelty is the point.
Now, people say the pain is the point and the cruelty is the point, and they sound like rhetoric. But remember, this is the same party of we're all going to die.
People are not, well, we all are going to die. So, for heaven's sakes.
This is the same party when asked about school lunches of put the kids to work.
You're telling me that kids who stay at home instead of going to work at Burger King and McDonald's during the summer should stay at home and get their free lunch instead of going to work. I think we need to have a top-down review. Think about where kids need to actually be.
And if you thought they weren't serious about put the kids to work, they actually did move to amend child labor laws. Ain't that right, Ron DeSantis? What's crazy is him having to compete with kids, for jobs. Because just on site, it would be, I mean, they might go with the 12-year-old. You serious? Now help me here. If the case that's being made is the cruelty is the point and the pain is the point, how do you defend during a shutdown making sure that ICE is being paid? Making sure that the military and the National Guard that's running rampant through American cities are being paid.
That part.
While Americans can't eat, and we're claiming to go back on promises of back pay to furloughed workers. And what's that? Oh, but Law and Order. Is that Law and Order? Okay. How about Timothy Mellon, who donated $130 million to help pay the $9 billion monthly cost to cover military salaries, currently being in litigation over his financial connections to the Epstein ring? What was that? That was Law and Order, you said? Yeah. The TV show would never broadcast something like this. It's far too obvious. Over 850,000 people are going to lose their SNAP benefits in Louisiana because you're protecting a PDF speaker Jesus freak. Why don't you swear in Adelita for AZ and reopen the government? Your constituents can't eat the Epstein files.
Hello.
This would have been one of those cases where Ice Cube is just off by himself. This would have been an Ice Cube solo episode, one of the ones we all kind of agreed to skip, but we know they had to give him for contractual reasons. You know, they just be so telegraphed. Things like building a ballroom in the midst of a shutdown, like dancing in Asia in the midst of a shutdown.
Don't he look like a fool? I can't help it. I gotta get my digs on this fool. Don't he look like a plum fool? The incredible melting orangutan man. No, I digress. But don't he really just look like a fool? He looks like a plum fool. And you're right, Barbara. He don't care about the doggone Constitution. He care about what he want, and that's it. Point blank, period. There's no dancing ass.
Or how about what we have going on in New York City, where the characterization of Zohran Mamdani is if he builds public grocery stores, there'll be bread lines all over the city, while we have bread lines actively in this country due to the shutdown that he was posting memes in the days before instead of negotiating. In fact, the only two times we've had actual bread lines in America in recent history was during the presidency of Donald Trump. Now, to be clear, that video was in Hyattsville, Maryland, Prince George's County, where I'm from. I take that very personally, as should you, because at the same time as those people were lining up for food, Trump gave a $40 billion bailout to Argentina. So if you're a low income kid in America surviving on $6 a day in SNAP benefits, Trump refuses to use emergency funds to keep you from going hungry. But they'll get some Epstein money to make sure ICE is paid and make sure we take care of Argentina.
And we ain't even gonna get into ICE tonight. But that part right there, ICE, we don't know who is under the bandanas as ICE agents. As far as we know, they could be KKK members for all we know, because they are not vetting ICE agents, but they making sure that they're hiring them though. They making sure they get paid, don't they? Where's my cursor? There it is.
To another big issue, the Trump administration recently extended a $20 billion lifeline to Argentina that has gotten some bipartisan criticism, Mr. Secretary, including from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. I'll read you a little bit of what she wrote. She says, quote, Americans are getting decimated with high cost of living and skyrocketing insurance costs. Many of them have zero savings and some are maxing out credit cards to survive. Tell me how it's America first to bail out a foreign country with 20 or even 40 billion taxpayer dollars. How is this move America first, Mr. Secretary?
Well, Kristen, it is America first because we are supporting a U.S. ally. There will be no taxpayer losses. This is a swap line. This is not a bailout. And It is from the Exchange Stabilization Fund, which Treasury, I control at Treasury. It is never registered a loss. It is not going to register a loss this time. We are supporting a U.S. ally in Latin America, and we want to set the tone in Latin America because look at what's going on in Venezuela. It is a failed narco state, and I'm a big fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's fantastic. Voice in Congress, but please let me finish. So we think it is much better to use American economic power up front to stabilize a friendly government and lead the way, because we've got many other governments. We've got many other governments in Latin America, Bolivia, Ecuador, Paraguay, who all want to follow. So I would rather extend a swap line than be shooting at the boats carrying drugs as we're having to coming out of Venezuela.
So if I got this right, the money's flowing to Argentina because that is an American ally. So my natural conclusion would be that the actual American people don't qualify. And as outrageous as that sounds, it's clearly the way this administration has been moving. Everyone needs to understand what Donald Trump is planning. If he allows SNAP benefits to expire for over 41 million Americans on November 1st during his shutdown, it won't be by accident. It'll be by design. Trump's shutdown isn't about budgets. It's about control. He instructed Speaker Johnson to keep the government closed, and Johnson obeyed his master. Everything that happens next flows from that fact. On November 1st, SNAP benefits, food assistance for 41 million people will stop. That's more than 1 in 10 Americans suddenly unable to feed their families. And Trump is refusing to release $6 billion in reserve funds that could cover it. And what happens when over 41 million people suddenly can't afford food? Desperation, empty shelves, looting born of hunger and necessity, not crime. Parents skipping meals so their kids can eat. It'll create mass chaos, and Trump knows it. Why would he want that? Because decentralized chaos creates the perfect pretext for an authoritarian power grab. He's been itching to invoke the Insurrection Act, which lets him deploy the U.S. military inside the country under the guise of restoring order. Picture the headlines. Riots sweep the nation. Trump deploys troops to restore peace. He'd frame himself as the law and order savior, even though he, of course, engineered the crisis himself. Classic authoritarian playbook: create chaos, declare emergency, seize power. Once the Insurrection Act is triggered, he could send federal troops into cities, crush protests, and even delay elections for safety. That's precisely how democracies die, not with one coup, but with a manufactured emergency that the wannabe despot uses to take total control. Remember January 6th? He already tried to use chaos to hold on to power after losing the 2020 election, and this is what rendered him constitutionally disqualified for holding office under the 14th Amendment. Since everyone ignored that, he now controls the entire government. An authoritarian power grab, engineering chaos so you have reason to send in military and troops, which makes some sense of the soft launches that we've seen up to this point, as well as his previous attempts to try and provoke a response from the left or the center. And just as sure as this administration will telegraph absolutely everything, the same week as all of this is going about, Steve Bannon went on a media tour to tell it all.
And does he need a third term in order to see that job through?
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
I swear, these got to be these people would snitch on First 48 before the crime even occurred. Before the crime even occurred, they would snitch. They acting incredulous. You're like, no, I'm telling you, we're going to break the Constitution. No, we got it. We got it. And just in case you thought they were too savvy to put it down on paper, here is a leaked CPAC press memo showing the third term project hosting a February 20th event titled The Case for Presidential Tenure Reform. They're openly arguing for a constitutional amendment to let Trump serve up to 3 terms, citing unfinished business and continuity. This isn't subtle anymore. It's a blueprint for permanent power. Now, you had me at continuity. They have insulted our intelligence on a lot of occasions, but this man don't have continuity from one sentence to the next. That's why they had to invent the weave, because we couldn't follow him speaking for any longer than 10 seconds at a time. He don't have continuity from one moment to the next, but you want to keep him in office for continuity purposes. So we're clear. What we have is a very intentional yanking of social safety nets. Of course, not for nothing. We make sure ICE gets paid. We make sure the military gets paid. We make sure all the billionaires get their tax breaks. We make sure we bail out Argentina. You know, we take care of our priorities, but we make sure that the Americans are suffering as much as humanly possible, while amplifying our ability to crush any resistance or what we would characterize as crime. And something which shouldn't go unnoticed, I find it fascinating that association of poverty and desperation and crime. It's something that I argue about. It's something that I advocate for all of the time when we're getting these crime statistics completely out of context to cast aspersions on Black people, and they want to completely ignore the conditions that exist on the ground. All of a sudden now you want to utilize that exact same cauldron that we've been living in for decades in order to provoke mass hysteria, chaos, and crime. You know, the kinds of conditions that we've been operating in without that up to this point. Let's make that clear. So what we have is you engineering and provoking the American people so that you can go in and grab power. And your man's up here talking about how he's going to serve a third term at the exact same time. I'll be honest. MAGAs, y'all really done did it. Y'all really done did it. And honestly, I don't know how y'all call yourselves Christian.
Have you looked into the eyes of a hungry child? Have you heard their tummy grumble because they haven't been fed in a few days? If this is okay with you, do not call yourself a Christian. I don't care who you are. You could be the pastor of the biggest church in America. And if you are okay with this, you are not a Christian. The fact that little kids are going to go on daily without food, go to school on a hungry tummy, come home to no food, and you're sitting here thinking, oh, well, you know, it's the damn Democrats or, oh, the government. Shut your fucking mouth. None of this should be about politics. It shouldn't be about the right or the left. It's about people that need help. And if you've never known what that's like, because I haven't, okay? I grew up in a very middle-class white family. My parents didn't have a lot of money, but guess what? I didn't go without food. And if you've ever looked into a little kid's eyes who hasn't had a warm meal and it doesn't fucking move you, you are a garbage human. Garbage, okay? So I hope to God that if you call yourself a Christian, you remind yourself what the fuck that actually means.
And notice how quickly we want our nation to uphold Christian values turns into it's not the government's job to feed the hungry or help the poor, which are literal things Christ taught us to value.
If SNAP benefits do not go out in November and you attend a church that you've been tithing to and been giving money to for years, and they are not out in the community donating to the community and ensuring the families are eating, including the families in their own pews, right? And then the families outside in the community, if you're a part of a church and they don't immediately have a plan for what's in place when November 1st hits and people don't get their food stamps, then you need to leave that church. They're not using their money for what God intended. God intended for the church's money to go to those who don't have enough and to supporting his community and making sure that you can spread the word. And those things cannot happen if you do not donate to your community. So if your pastor or preacher or whoever he is has a Lamborghini and a mansion, and they also cannot afford to feed the hungry in their own congregation, you need to leave your church. Because listen, people might have a lot of feelings about the LDS church and this and that. The LDS church saved me and my kids, okay? And the LDS church gives so much money, and they have a lot saved. I'm not saying that they are perfect. I'm not saying that they're the perfect stewards of money, but I am saying that the LDS church gives so much, and they have their own food banks, and they donate so much food to local food banks. They're always in service, and I take comfort in that. Okay, but if you are attending a church and November 1st, they do not have something planned, they do not immediately make an announcement to help those families who did not get their benefits on November 1st, you're in the wrong place, and Jesus would flip that table.
Amen to that.
I am so sorry. Thank you, Urban. I didn't know I was on mute. Listen. Oh shoot, now I gotta repeat what I was saying. What she said is true. What she said is true. If you attend a church that is not pouring into the community and the people of the church within, you need to find a new church. Okay? Second of all, we need to make ourselves aware of those people that we know amongst us. Because, you know, it's one thing to talk about people in general, but when you know folks personally that's abusing the system, you see what I'm saying? When you know people that are going out there and getting all they can out of every single solitary program, and they got 4 kids, all of them different baby daddies, 5 kids, they all got different baby daddies, and yeah, you may work a little job, but you still depending on SNAP to cushion. You know, there's some accountability to be had there. And then when Christmas time roll around, you want to sign up for every dadgum program that's providing Christmas for your children. We need to start holding them folks accountable as well. There needs to be something established to where Shaniqua can go and sign up for every doggone program in the area so they can get more than most people can afford to get their kids every year. I went to somebody's house once. I ain't saying no names. She might be looking. She might be watching. But listen, when you can go to somebody's house and see they got more Christmas for their kids than you have for your family, and you working hard every doggone day of your life to provide for your family, provide for your kids, and have a nice Christmas, and they got 10 times the shit you got. Come on now, people. Come on. We got some greedy ass people out here, and we need to hold them accountable as well. It's one thing to put accountability on the government. I agree with that. But we need to put accountability on the recipients as well.
Amen to that. And one thing I do want to make clear, there are a lot of people that are doing this work already. There are a lot of people trying to fill in the gaps of humanity from the administration. And it's time to connect with those services, amplify their work, and connect to one another.
Do you really want to piss off this administration and the folks that are currently on this app that are rooting for people to starve when they lose their SNAP benefits? Listen up. Here's just a few ideas that I have on ways in which we can make sure that folks in our communities actually eat and survive the government shutdown. Now, I want to preface this. Everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something. Let's say 1 or 2 of these is something that you can't do. That's cool. Focus on the thing that you can do. So the first thing we're going to do is support the organizations that are already doing this work. That could be national organizations such as Feeding America, Sharing Excess, U.S. Hunger, Food Finder, No Kid Hungry. Now, those are national organizations. What's going to be pivotal is to focus on local organizations as well. So depending upon where you live, there are going to be different organizations that do the feeding work. You're going to want to support those as well. Next thing, you're going to want to get your donations ready. Your local food banks and food pantries need donations. And not just the stuff from the bottom shelf, y'all. Buy the stuff that you would buy for your own family. Also, if you live in places like I live where there are community fridges, why not go ahead and put some items in there? Or if you got it like that, completely restock that joint. Some other ideas. Get to know your neighbors. Get to know folks, especially folks who might need help. Our disabled neighbors, our elderly neighbors, our neighbors who have kids. Get to know those folks. And again, if you have extra to be able to support them, why not do a grocery store run for them? Support mutual aid funds. So many people who are already on these programs were already working multiple jobs, just trying to feed their families. Mutual aid is a way that we can make sure that those folks continue to eat. Also, don't treat this like no pet project, okay? Treat people with dignity, okay? Just because a person is hungry doesn't mean that they get treated less than a human being. Don't be weird about your giving. Another idea, why don't you organize a food drive? Yeah, you. Organize it with your family, your friends, your coworkers, your bowling league, your church, whether it's for a local family or in partnership with another organization. It's absolutely worth it. Some ideas if you don't have cash but still want to help. Volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Places like food banks and food pantries need help. Volunteering is currently reported at all-time lows, and they need the help, and they would welcome the help. So whether you're volunteering at a food bank or food pantry, or you're volunteering with your local worship organization that are going out and deciding to feed people, all of those are also very important ways to give back, especially in this season. Some folks are counting on anarchy. They're counting on people to lose their minds. What they discounted is the fact that a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us have been building and trusting in and believing in community. And if you're one of those, it's time to start acting like community. So let's get to it.
Amen. That is as beautiful way to go out as any. I amplify each and everything that she said. And in this moment, I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. And if we would have done that, we wouldn't be here, but that's why I'm troubled. Thank you guys so much for watching the video.
All right, y'all. That's the end of that. So with all that said, I'm going to wrap up this live. Thank you guys for stopping by. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put my camera back on. I keep turning it off and forget to turn it back on. But nevertheless, thank you guys for stopping by this evening and talking about this situation. No, Barbara, I'm not going to no casino tonight. No. But yeah, I'm just thankful that I have y'all that come by and participate. You know, and we need to, I know it's just a handful of us, but, you know, if y'all can share the live with other people, make this we need to make this more aware amongst other people. We can't just hoard this information for ourselves. We got to share the information. So, but thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate y'all. It's what keeps me going. I've been contemplating jumping off of YouTube for a while, but I just keep coming back. And it's because of you that I do. So, hi, Lisa Caffey. Hello, sweetheart. You know, without going off into a whole lot of detail, I've really been thinking about, wow, this is a lot of work, and I'm doing the best I can to hang on. And I look at other content creators and they're, you know, getting a lot of donations and stuff like that. And when I start feeling low about it, somebody steps in and breaks the mold and reminds me what I'm here for. And I appreciate you, Fonda. Thank you, my love. You don't even realize what your phone call meant to me the other night. So again, I'm gonna get off this live stream before I get emotional. I love y'all. Y'all take care. Peace out.
Thanks for staying close through thick and thin. Just stuck around, let the journey begin. Every like, every comment, you light up my day. Your loyalty's a gift I won't take away. From dawn to dusk, you've been my kinfolk crew. This song's for you, for everything you do. We grow together through highs and lows. Your support is the wind that makes me glow. With every single view, you lift me higher. Your love and dedication fuels my fire. Here's to my loyal kinfolk, my shining stars. Together we're champion, near and far. This is our moment, for being so real. You make my heart swell. No distance could ever break this bond. You trust, your love, forever fun. As I close this chapter with gratitude, this outro's for you, my kinfolk. Who stay tuned, keep dreaming, we'll soar anew. I'm forever grateful for all of you. Until next time, keep shining bright, loyal friends and kinfolk. Good night. Oh.